So what you're looking at right now is a brand new Samsung Galaxy S26. And in this video, we're going to give you our first look and first impressions of the brand new Samsung devices that they launched at Unpacked 2026 this evening. What we have is the brand new Galaxy S26, we have the S26 Plus, and then we have the big boy, which is the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Let's get into it. And at first glance, you might think, wait, didn't I just see this last year? The silhouette is nearly identical to the S25. But as always with Samsung, the devil is in the details. It's thinner, it's smoother, and while the megapixels stay the same, the main lens on the Ultra just got a massive physical upgrade that changes how it sees light. If you've been complaining about blurry indoor shots or noisy night video, this is the one you've been waiting for. Now, let's start off with the design. Let's talk about the feel. Samsung managed to shave off even more depth this year. The S26 and S26 Plus feel noticeably thinner in the hand compared to the S25. But the real visual tell is the camera housing. Instead of each individual lens sitting in its own isolated island, like we've seen for the last few years, Samsung has moved to a curved frame that surrounds all the camera holes together. It's a softer, more unified look that makes the back of the phone feel less busy and more like a single piece of hardware. Now let's talk about the cameras. If you are hoping for a 400 megapixel monster, you're in for bad news. What you get here is a trusted 200 megapixel. On the S26 and S26 Plus, we're still looking at the same 50 megapixel main sensor and 12 megapixel ultra-wide we saw last year. Even on the big boy, the S26 Ultra, the headline is still 200 megapixels. On the S25 Ultra though, we had an f1.7 aperture. It was good, but in the world of physics, more light is always better. The S26 Ultra moves to a brighter f1.4 aperture. Now, why does that 0.3 difference matter? The good part is that it gives you better clarity in pitch black shots and a much higher chance of freezing motion. If you're trying to photograph a moving pet or a kid, you actually get a sharp shot instead of a blurry mess. The trade-off though is that with a wider aperture, your depth of field gets shallower. You'll get beautiful natural bokeh, but you'll have to be more precise with your focus when you're close to a subject. But Samsung is betting entirely on the Creative Studio and AI Photo Assist. I tried this briefly in the briefing. So what you get is, let me give you a scenario. For instance, you're out with your friends and you want to take a picture of the food that you're having, but you only realize this after you've taken a bite of your sandwich or you've taken a piece of your cake. So with those AI features, what you're able to do now is you're able to take a picture and then you're able to actually put the food or presentation back into its original form as opposed to the part where you have taken a bite out of your food, which is quite cool. Because what we saw in previous years is that with object removal, you could remove objects, but it was hard to actually add on objects to that image or picture or whatever content piece you've taken. I think this is quite cool, and you'll see a lot of content creators using that. What Samsung has also done is that they've enhanced their audio features when it comes to editing. You're able to remove any other noises that you don't need from your video clips. And you can also focus on one single source or multiple sources of audio if you are recording, let's say, an interview or this content piece like we are right now. Now, the big win for South Africa has to be the chips on these devices. So what we get now is Snapdragon across the board. What has always happened before is that either the S25 and the S25 Plus have been reserved with Snapdragon, while the S26 Ultra will get the bigger chip, which is Samsung's very own custom chip. What we get here is the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy with a brand new thermal architecture. The summary is that it's faster, it stays cooler during 8K video recording or gaming, and the efficiency looks promising. One of the actual killer features that I'm excited about definitely has to be the privacy display that you get baked into the Samsung devices. But to tell us a bit more about that and everything else that Samsung has unveiled, let's head over to our chat with Justin Hume, who's the Vice President of Samsung Mobile South Africa. So, Justin, we've seen Galaxy AI evolve rapidly over the past few years, right? From pioneering it or breaking, AI on mobile devices. But for a South African user who isn't a techie, what is the one new AI feature on the S26 that will fundamentally change the daily routine?
So, there's a lot. But fundamentally, if we think about AI today as we know it, it's in this generative AI idea. So I can say to the AI, create me an image of a village in Rome or Tuscany, and give me a nice beach in there. So I can construct it, right? And we go from there. That's the one way of thinking about it. The second way is behind the scenes. It's making our pictures that we take more vivid, crisp by filling in the pixels and the enhancing the colors and smoothing out faces and stuff like that. So that's where we are today, effectively. And Samsung's been the leader in that, and we've really tried to bring some incredible AI technology to the customer on their phone. But the S26 builds on that. So now where we had this AI tool available to us, we now move into an AI agent, what's known as agentic AI. And what's incredible there is that this becomes like almost having your personal assistant on the phone. And the thing I always think about is this idea of digital clutter. So if you're anything like me, you have thousands of pictures in your gallery. You have emails that are coming in on Gmail, your work email address, on Outlook, whatever it might be. And there's so much data. And then suddenly I've got to remember, we were having a conversation, but I can't recall where, what platform, and where we go. This is where my agent comes into play. And my agent already knows what that conversation is basically, and can bring that information to mind. So a practical way of looking at that is, let's assume that we've been having a discussion. We want to play a round of golf. Mm-hmm. And we've been having that conversation on WhatsApp, but I forget to put it into my calendar. And suddenly I'm thinking through the week, hang on, we chatted about playing golf. When, where, how?
Yeah.
My agent goes off, it'll look in Gmail, it'll look wherever it might be, and it goes, hang on a second. We were discussing that over WhatsApp. We made a commitment to play at this course on Saturday at 7:30 in the morning. And by the way, would you like to book an Uber to get there?
Oh, wow.
It's that kind of idea where it's going through.
Yeah.
And before anybody thinks, well, what's this agent doing running around through all my stuff? The great news is it's within a protected environment on the device effectively. So it's not putting your information out there into the World Wide Web. It is really looking at it within your secure environment of your handset. And it's a real game changer. And
that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. And I can see already just using that technology on a daily basis, right? It's there to make our daily lives easier and then integrate so much better eventually.
100%. So, one, it's taking away this idea that I have to go and do one thing at a time. I have to do Gmail, come back, to my gallery or photograph, come back. The agent can now work across multiple applications, and I deal with it through one single interface. So all my data starts getting consolidated into one environment, and it gives me a full view of my day, of the emails, whatever it might be. And that's incredibly powerful because we have so much clutter coming at us and so many things these days. How do we make sense of it? How do we make it easy for ourselves? And this is really where the S26 steps out in a whole new league.
No, definitely. And it's so incredible. And with so many consumers holding on to their phones for a longer period, we see that now, right? How has Samsung engineered the S26 series to feel new even 3 or 4 years into its lifespan, both in terms of physical durability and then software support as well?
So if we think from a physical perspective on the design, we know that the S series form factor has received multiple awards. It is considered by customers to be really one of the finest designs that exists out there. But we've taken some of the modern trends of, the way we round the edges, setting clear aspect ratios and the like to ensure a visually appealing device. That's the first, so it looks good. But it's made with Gorilla Glass 2 Victor's. So the screen is unbelievably strong, armored aluminium for the body. So it can handle life's knocks, the bumps and bruises that take place. But what's interesting is that, as you say, we're keeping our phones for longer. We pass them on. So we recognize that. And we will continue to offer 6 years of OS updates on the device and 7 years of security updates.
Okay.
And that's an important one. We want to make sure that as a Galaxy S series user, you are at the very forefront of the latest security, mobile security that is on offer. And that's why we will continue to provide that for 7 years.
That's incredible. That really is incredible. And then just moving on to, we're all conscious of value, right?
Yes.
And then beyond the hardware itself, what is Samsung doing locally with the S26 launch, be it the trade-in program or ecosystem bundles, to make the premium experience more accessible to more people?
So you raise an interesting and important one there, which is the ecosystem bundling that we have. So we're working with the mobile operators to have what we call bolt-on packages or bundle opportunities at quite substantially reduced prices going through. So I could, for example, get this watch on a bundle with the Galaxy S26 at a significantly reduced price. And because of the integration of the ecosystem these days, it's a seamless experience between whether my watch and my phone and the new Buds 4 that are coming out as well in that regard, or even the existing Buds 3 today. So we want you as a user to not just be confined to the handset. We want you to experience everything that opens up there. And again, as IoT, so Internet of Things, and interoperability between devices continues to grow, our phone, our TVs, our refrigerators, our air cons, they're all becoming seamlessly integrated and managed from this AI device. On top of that, to make the device affordable to all and to also offer a solution to customers, we will be continuing our trade-in program through the mobile operators. They are offering various packages and discount rates that go through there. So again, I would suggest to anybody interested in that, go visit your mobile store, have a look at what they're offering, and they'll customize a package for you.
Awesome. And then lastly, so the S26 lineup, it offers 3 distinct experiences, right? Which would be the S26, S26 Plus, and then the Ultra. But if a customer is currently using an older, say, S21 or S23, for example, how would they decide which model in this new range is the right lead for them, essentially? How would you advise them?
A couple of things. So the biggest distinguishing factor is the screen size. So our S26 is a 6.3-inch device, and then you go all the way up to a 6.9-inch in the Ultra. So how does it feel in your hand? What experience are you looking for? Am I prioritizing photography? Am I prioritizing daily utility? Those are the key decision factors that need to come into play. And that's the most obvious that you're looking at there. Obviously, when you get into the Ultra, you're getting everything that is on offer. And so that is somebody who, they're a power user of the mobile phone. They want to be able to integrate their phone across the broader ecosystem seamlessly. I mean, they all do it, but on the large screen display, they're using the device to its maximum potential. They want something that's got unbelievable processing power, the ability to do mobile gaming, the ability to write with the S Pen on the screen, and so forth. So I think if I was recommending after size and form factor, then am I looking to use the phone for most everyday purposes, or am I really in the content creation? Am I in the power user or the professional user space? And that's where Ultra certainly would sit. Having said that, even if you're not a professional user, I can tell you the experience on Ultra is unbelievable because you've just got so much capability and freedom on the device. It's a true gem of a product.
Unbelievable. And then with you having used the devices, what would you say is that one hidden gem or hidden feature that maybe will get a little bit overlooked or not as much love that you think really people need to take advantage of?
So two, if I can suggest this. The first one is the privacy display. So for what that is in the past you've been able to buy screen protectors that make your screen invisible to others around you. But when you use that, it's always on. You always have that diminished view. So if I want to show you a picture, I want to show it to you in all its glory, in the full color.
Definitely.
That won't happen. But if I'm reading my WhatsApps on a plane and I've got somebody sitting next to me, I don't really want them looking at that. So with privacy display, we've integrated both hardware and software features. We can control the way the light is emitted at an individual pixel level. And that means that by application or by scenario, I can choose whether I want it on or off and to what extent I want the privacy. So if I'm on a bus and I've got lots of people sitting around me and I want only the visibility of what's on screen to be me, I can set it that way. If I don't mind and it's I want to share with one or two people around me, I can choose that as well. And that for me is wonderful. I don't know, I often fly and I'm often looking at my phone and I've got this person sitting next to me.
Always
and they're busy reading what's on my screen. And it's like, okay, cool, but interesting, Now I can choose to lock that down. That's number one. The second one is also an element of privacy, where with AI now, thinking about that assistant, we all get these calls these days where it's an unknown number or a number that you don't recognize.
Yes.
Do you take those calls?
I don't.
You don't, right? No, because you know who's calling you.
Exactly.
Why, and you're going to listen to some story on the phone. But sometimes that number is coming from your dentist. You don't recognize it, but you should have taken that call. Now, Galaxy S26 can actually answer the call for you. Say, hey, I'm Justin's agent. And can you give me a bit of background as to what you're looking for? And based on the settings that I've engaged with my agent, it'll tell me, like, listen, this is a call you should take or not. And here's the context of the call. So you can either put it through to me, take a message, or can the call in that regard. For me, that is a huge win.
It is, definitely is. Thank you so much, Justin.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Great.
Moving on all things AI, Samsung's very own Bixby, which is their AI feature, has gotten an overhaul. What people didn't know and what people thought rather is that it only uses Google Gemini. But actually, Bixby is open source and you can make use of whatever AI integration that you want to use on it. Last but not least, Samsung also announced a brand new Samsung Galaxy Buds 4. What you get is two versions, the Galaxy Buds 4 and the Galaxy Buds 4 Pro. Each is priced at 3,499 Rand and 3,999 respectively. They've gone for a premium blade design with metal accents. The good thing is they are 20% larger speakers and super clear calls. And the better part is that its pinch and gesture controls are way more intuitive than the alt tapping method. They come in black, white, and a very slick pink gold, which Samsung says is not on the cards for South Africa. When it comes to pricing and availability, the S26 goes for 20,999, and then you get the S26 Plus, which goes for 25,999, and then you get the S26 Ultra, which goes for 30,999 with up to 1 terabyte storage. Pre-orders open today, the 25th of Feb, with units hitting hands on March 4. And the double storage deal is back. If you buy 256 gigabytes, Samsung will actually upgrade you to 512 gigabytes. So, first impressions of the Galaxy S26. I think if you have the S25, rather wait it out because what you're pretty much getting is just new software additions. But if you have previous versions such as the Galaxy S22 and the S23 or even the 24, this would be the perfect time to jump ship because you're getting pretty much new design, which actually feels nice in your hands. And you're also getting a host of AI features which you can take advantage of with this new device. But I'm quite curious to find out what you think of this firsthand and our time at Samsung. Please let us know in the comments down below. And please make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel so that you're actually the first one to know when we release that review of the Galaxy S26. But from myself, Babi Mabele, and Gift behind the camera, thank you so much for tuning into this very special episode. And up until next time, have yourself a good one.